Hey everyone, today we're diving into a huge challenge that pretty much every company faces, managing all their projects and ideas. We're going to talk about how to get from that feeling of total chaos, being pulled in a million different directions, to a place of real clarity and strategy. All right, let's get into it.
So does this sound familiar to you? You've got awesome ideas popping up everywhere, stakeholders are constantly asking for new things, but you've only got so many people and so many hours in the day. It's a recipe for burnout, right? And for not a lot of progress. So where do you even begin to focus?
It usually feels a lot like this, doesn't it? A non-stop juggling act. You're trying to make sure you're aligned with the company's big picture strategy, you're trying to actually manage the work getting done, and on top of all that, you have to prove it's all adding real value. Without a solid system, it just feels like the gears are grinding, going nowhere fast.
Okay, the way out of that chaos starts right here, with a solid foundation. You see, before you can even think about managing a portfolio of projects, you have to be absolutely 100% clear on one thing. What are we, as a business, actually trying to accomplish?
And that big question? It breaks down into these smaller, much more manageable steps. And forget about vague mission statements. We're talking about defining concrete business outcomes, like increase customer attention by 10%. Then you translate that into things you can actually measure, like OKRs or KPIs. And all along the way, you're balancing the quick wins with those big, long-term strategic bets.
The best way to think about these objectives is as your company's North Star. Every single idea, every project, every initiative has to be guided by them. And if something doesn't align with that North Star, you've got to ask the tough question, why are we even talking about doing this?
All right, so our foundation is set. Now we need a bridge. And this is the absolutely critical link that connects that high-level strategy to the actual day-to-day work our teams are doing.
This right here is probably the single most important mindset shift in portfolio management. Most teams, let's be honest, are really good at doing projects right. They're efficient, they hit their deadlines, they stay on budget, but the real game-changing question is, are they doing the right projects? Is all that great work actually moving the needle on those big strategic objectives we just talked about? Because when you get this alignment right, the payoff is just massive. Your teams finally have clear direction. You stop pouring time, money, and talent into projects that are going nowhere, and of course, you start to see a way bigger return on your investment and a real impact on the business. Let's just let that sink in for a second. This idea is the absolute heart of what we're talking about today. It's about shifting your entire organization's focus from just being busy to being truly effective. It's moving from an activity-focused mindset to a value-focused one. Okay, so we've got our strategy. We know we need to align all our work to it. But what do we do about that constant, non-stop flood of new requests and new ideas? This is where you need a gatekeeper. We call it demand management.
Now, this isn't about building a wall to keep ideas out. It's about building a smart, orderly gate. First, you need one central place to capture every single request. No more random emails or hallway ambushes. Then you standardize how requests are submitted, you evaluate them against your strategic criteria, and this is key, you control the flow so you don't completely overwhelm your teams.
So you see, demand management isn't just about admin or paperwork. It is a deeply strategic function. It's all about protecting your single most valuable resource, your team's capacity, and making sure it's aimed directly at the projects that deliver the most strategic value. It's about having the confidence to say no, or maybe just not right now. So we've got the flood of ideas under control. Now for the really tough part, making the hard choices. We have a manageable list of good, well-defined ideas, so how do we actually decide which ones get the green light? The answer is with data, not just gut feelings. Mature organizations use frameworks like these to be objective. For example, weighted scoring is pretty cool because it admits that not all criteria are created equal. Maybe revenue impact is twice as important as cool factor, right? And for teams working in Agile, WSJF, or weighted shortest job first, is amazing. It helps you prioritize the work that gets you the most bang for your buck in the shortest amount of time. The goal is always the same though, make objective, evidence-based decisions.
And it's never just about one simple score. Really great prioritization is more like building a balanced investment portfolio. You need some quick wins for that immediate payoff, but you also need to fund those big, long-term strategic bets. You also have to be brutally honest about what your team can actually handle
And, maybe most importantly, the whole process has to be transparent. Everyone needs to understand why Project A is getting started now and why Project B is on the back burner. So when you put all these pieces together, the clear objectives, the alignment, the smart demand management, and the data-driven prioritization, you get this. A clean, direct line of sight from your highest-level company strategy all the way down to the real value your teams are delivering. The chaos is gone, and it's replaced by clarity.
So, look, if you take only one thing away from our chat today, let it be this. Do everything you can to shift your organization's focus from just being busy and efficient to being truly strategically effective.
So, I'll leave you with a question to think about for your own workplace. How are these big decisions really made? Is it a structured, data-driven process, or does it come down to gut feelings and who has the loudest voice in the room? The answer to that question tells you a lot about how close you are to moving from chaos to clarity. Thanks for tuning in.